Namaste, Jay Bharat. Is it really the case that there cannot be any transparency in geopolitics? It appears so. More likely that there can't be any transparency because the very structure, nature of geopolitics might be demanding that. I'm talking about the H-1B visas. Somebody else in the YouTube was speaking about the other side of the coin or the other kind of possibility. I do not know. None of us really know. But then there can be this possibility. As this person was telling, is Sumit Jain. In his, I think the channel's name is Coffee with Sumit Jain. Uh, he was saying that this must be scripted. On the one hand, the tech people in US, there's about 85,000 of visas H1B given to all these different tech companies, and they intend to sell it. Rather, they wanted legitimate people to work for them, and they wanted output of such people, but then they do charge some amount, which must be a large, handsome amount, from those who wants to reach US through these H1B visas. And maybe the Trump wants to curtail this practice, which is not in the interest of America. And there's also another talk that there is definite brain drain in Bharat, and there should be reverse brain drain for Bharat. So there's some kind of script going on behind it. See, look, let's see what happens. Initially, of course, there's a U-turn, rather not really U-turn. There's a shift in policies of H1B visas right now. Initially, it was said $1 lakh US dollar for every year for H1B visa. And normally visa is issued for 6 years. And now, of course, as the case stands, today was the day. Now, as the case stands, this date is not final. It should be announced later. And one time, this $1 lakh need to be paid, need not repeat every year. So this much of relaxation came. So this kind of drift and changes in policies keep happening. This another thing is a very interesting in between that there are many Pakistanis who encroached into the policy making structure of America. This is a possibility. There are Pakistanis encroaching, and Pakistanis have this kind of hatred towards Hindus, inherent hatred. They have inherent hatred towards Hindus and, of course, Jews. Most of them have this hatred towards Jews, but Pakistanis in particular have hatred towards Hindus, and they hate Hindus more than they hate the Jews. That is for certain. So whatever policies they make, with our so-called intellectual platform, it will be led by these kind of emotions, because that's one thing. And apart from that, these Pakistanis are very seriously, deeply emotional fools. That's one thing which is very visible. So these H1B visas are supposed to be supposed to be enhancing the economic strength of the United States, but then that's not going to happen. Tech companies, on the one hand, used to charge, and that could be curtailed. Then who will pay this much of money, $1 lakh, and go to America? On the one hand, that's point number one. Secondly, see, many people say, and many people do feel also, that the future doesn't lie in European nations anymore. The future actually lies in Bharat, at least for us. Now, generally, vast majority of people of Bharat, they would love to be in their home, not just for curry, but for the culture and the kind of society. See, the society, no matter how much you try to assimilate, will have an element of artificiality when you compare that with your originality. Albeit it may be the case that you're born, brought up there, etc., still a fairly large amount of adaptation to the new culture becomes impossible because you already have a family which has brought you to this kind of environment, and to large amount this family influence shall remain except in exceptional cases which ought to be very rare. So if this H1B visa happens, on the one hand there is possibility of opportunities in Bharat, and our government, the present government, is very quick to understand things and very quick to react and very quick to implement when it comes to welfare of the people. They're not corporate, they're not working for money, but they promote corporates. But they themselves are not corporate. They're not trying to work for themselves. They are nationalists to the core. We haven't seen any other government similar to this in any case. But we have history, we have tradition, we have culture, we have religion, we have spirituality. This functions at our background. Once these things are facilitated, people would like to come back to the land. That's one thing. With this visa kind of restrictions, the US companies would automatically shift their focus or operational area to other possible places, and preferably Bharat. So you need not to go abroad to work. You need not even sit online from Bharat and work in US. You have a hub here. Something akin to Silicon Valley is getting, but the Bangalore is one thing, Hyderabad is another, Pune is emerging, and Ahmedabad is coming. Is opting to be next somewhere. Ahmedabad has got space, and capital of Gujarat. And there are many other cities which could emerge in time. And Bharat is a vast land where the infrastructural facilities are almost similar. There's no great difference between one small city and a high city. Facilities throughout Bharat is almost the same, with differences negligible. So this possibility always there that companies abroad can have their houses here, can have their companies here, and their cost of production would be considerably less. They have many, from many they can select who they want. We have very good institutions of education which can produce talents for them to examine and select. They have options. They have they can pick up from many. They're not restricted to limited. They have options of various kinds, and they can make. There are people, plenty for them to work, who are fundamentally honest, capable, efficient with all kinds of things. And another thing, they do speak English to fairly good extent. English which is intelligible to others. This is another added advantage. So this H1B visa shall, in the long run, be benefiting the people of Bharat in the long run. Though one may find it, I wanted to go to US and work there. People have no special attraction to, I think generally, people have no special attraction to America or some other nations. They have attractions for better environment and better opportunity and better exposure. If that can be provided in Bharat, why should they live there, leave their land and go? That question also remains. We have a psychology of a sense of belonging to the nation, because the nation has got all these ingredients built into it: spirituality, dharma, and all those kinds of things. So it should be. Let's see the policy of U.S. Trump, in fact, on H1B visas positive. It helps us. Let's be positive. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.